I think I can speak for the collective masses when I say, what in the entire fuck is happening right now with the world? Because between World War III that's trying to start and Love is Blind season 10, the reunion, I've got thoughts, I've got feelings, and we're just going to dive into it. In that same spirit, before we do, I'm just hoping that you're feeling grounded, you're getting through your work week. And without further ado, let's just go into my thoughts and my musings because genuinely, I had nothing to say for episode 12, the wedding. Um, Honestly, it happened exactly as I thought it was going to happen. The only surprises that I got, honestly, was that Emma said yes. And honestly, the entire time I kept thinking, why are they planning a wedding? When it comes to something as important as children, you need to be on the same page. One can't be kind of in, kind of out, and the other one's like diligently in. I think you need to be honestly 100% on the same page on what you want, right? Because to his credit, he doesn't want to rush her. This is such a small timeline. He wants her to really think about it. It's a major life decision. Any of that clicking any bells, Alex, you see, because he was really just trying to get Ashley to like move to Arizona, Florida, wherever, in like 2.5 seconds after meeting, right? That being said, I just had no musings for the 12th thing. I think the only thing that really surprised me is that Emma said yes, especially in considering that they both had agreed that they would both be a no, and that they both agreed that they needed to wait and figure out where they are and if it made sense for them to continue, essentially. So yeah, Emma, again, giving Emma the side eye because I think she has a problem with expressing her emotions and she's not in alignment with them. So much so that she diverted from the plan and was like, yep, let's do it. But shout out to Mike for just saying no, right? Not saying yes. But anywho, let's just dive right into it. And since we already started with Mike and Emma, we might as well finish it with them at the reunion. So, as always, your girl took notes. Love is blind, love is blurry. And honestly, love is non-existent. Love may not even be in the room with us, with the exception of Vic and Christine. But let's get into it. When it comes to Mike and Emma, I was not shocked at all that they didn't work out. Honestly, again, it just did not make sense for two people who are on two different pages with kids deciding that they were going to still continue to something as serious as marriage, right? So they end up not working out. Shocker, shocker to no one. Mike is in a happy relationship, and when they pan to Emma, you could just tell that she's a little saddened, but she says she's working on herself, and honestly, I think that is probably the best choice. You genuinely need to be working on yourself before you're in a solid place before you decide to bring kids into your mess, right? The world's already crazy, they're already expensive, they've got emotional needs, physical needs, all those needs, right? So yeah, definitely make sure you're in a good place emotionally, financially, and yeah. Moving on from them, he's in a happy relationship. She's working on finding herself. We shift into Vic and Christine. Are we shocked at all? Are we shocked at all that they're joining the alumni? Getting into Vic and Christine, they're in a happy relationship. They talk about, the joys of seeing each other and coming home to each other, how she helped him navigate this relationship with her father and finding forgiveness. And, I say good for him supporting her through that and her feeling like she's in a good place. Good for them. I hope that they're able to move forward. I even like how I have a little bit of hope for her because I like how she even mentioned that she wrote him a letter. She's not sure if he read it, but it made her feel better. And I said, yes, because at the end of the day, closure is an illusion for me. If you're looking to like get a specific outcome, closure is just being able to say that, hey, it is what it is. I'm walking away. And it seems that she was able to do that. And I hope that they're able to mend their relationship, but they feel like they'll be just fine, right? So things are going well for them. No one is shocked there. But where we are shocked is that Connor and Bree are still together. They didn't move in together, but they live right next to each other. Okay. And then she says that, I hope this is true. She says that since watching herself on Love is Blind season 10, she kind of recognized where she had crossed the line a few times between, poking fun and just being really demeaning. Would it be the part where you called him lazy? Would it be the part where you don't know if he's the right one for you or if he's just a life lesson? Again, I don't know if I really believe a lot of things. I know someone, I talked to someone and they were like, they think that she really just stayed just for the reunion. And I'm like, a year is a long time to wait, to be with someone you don't care about, So if they like it, I love it. Shout out to them. And then we segue into Devontae and Brittany. Brittany looking gorgeous. Devontae looking the same. He reveals that at some point he was Alex's roommate, or still is Alex's roommate. Okay. And that's not even the greatest reveal, but Brittany talks about, just feeling blindsided the entire time because he kept reassuring her, telling her everything was good. He won't saw a relationship with them. I mean, to a degree, okay, but words are words. I think you need to really look at someone's actions. But even Devontae will admit that he really honestly kind of led her along. He didn't know how to communicate. Even though she specifically would ask him questions like, are we good? Do you want to be in this relationship? And I'm so happy that they passed the mic to Brittany's dad. Shout out to him. Shout out to him. He very much asked those questions that really needed to be asked. And the one that broke all of our hearts was, did you lie to me when you told me you were ready for marriage and that you loved my daughter? And we're not buying any of those responses. I don't think that he liked her. I don't think he loved her, much less. But he drug it out, and at the end reveals that not only is he expecting a child, very much giving Nancy and Bartiste a little bit, he's engaged, unlike Bartiste. So I said, she says she's okay. I know that had to sting a little bit, but what also really stung for her is that he decided to go on a girls trip with Bree, Ashley, and Priyanka. And then what was sus about that is he kind of sprung on them that, his Airbnb did not go through, and so he ended up spending the night. And who knows if that was really that's what would happen, or if he just kind of planned that along. We'll never know, right? Because if my boy makes $40,000 a month, Airbnb would not be a problem. A hotel would not be a problem. But ultimately, it was a problem for them that evening. And so she talks about feeling blindsided. And that's honestly going to be a theme for these girls. Because again, I really need people to stop thinking that these people are friends. They're just in this weird social experiment. And they've trauma bonded over a 3-month experience, honestly. Because ultimately, she is really expecting that they would have been loyal to her, told her these things, yada, yada. But at the end, the only person who really owed her any loyalty was Devontae. And he chose not to. And he is the only one that owed her that conversation. But they thought, supposedly, that everything was fine. Good luck to that child. Good luck to Devontae. Good luck to his relationship and marriage. And good luck to Brittany. I hope she heals. And apparently the person who helped her find out all these things was Amber. Amber and Jordan. We'll segue into them. 4 months later, not together. And for that, it highlights to me my suspicions. Again, always trust the tin hat. Because in my little tin hat situation, all I could think was, why is it exactly that her family is like super shocked that he decided to say yes? I think we were all a little concerned. Look at that pep talk that her brother gave her of, yeah, I'm not expecting for him to be at the end of the aisle. And she's like, yep, I'm a lot. A lot of what? I think the thing that really broke my heart is that obviously she's not in a good place about this. And she's kind of using her daughter to kind of get him to stay, because I don't really believe that even if he had told her goodbye, that she would have been content with that. She'd be like still upset that he was able to walk away, because she doesn't believe that 4 months is enough to walk away from someone who yells at you, who at an important milestone for someone else that they've entrusted him to be the best man, she didn't show up for him. So I definitely think that they weren't headed down the right way. So shout out to him for getting off. I'm sorry that, her daughter is a casualty of this, but at this point, work on yourself, Amber, right? And finally, Alex and Ashley. He has nothing to say. He's very confused why everyone's upset. He doesn't know what's going on. He thinks that his timeline makes perfect sense and everybody just needs to get on board. There's not really much to say about Alex and Ashley except that they were not meant to be together. She wanted to have a deep moment. I wasn't feeling it. I'm just glad they're not together. They were not meant to be together. And we shift to Chris and Jessica, who are not together, thankfully. He does apologize, to his credit. He does admit he has to work on some things. I hope with what he's working on, it's not like looks maxing and, digging himself deeper into the red pill space. But to which, if y'all haven't seen it, there is a documentary on Netflix about the manosphere, right? Pretty interesting. Confirmed everything I thought I knew, but whatever. They're not very surprising. It's not very, very eye-opening, right? But just interesting to say the least, right? But we do find out that he's still working on himself and probably his $60,000 of debt. And Jessica is dating a fellow doctor, someone who will understand her work schedule and that she will not be going to Pilates every day. No. Some people are saying that what he said was performative, and yes, it was, but I do understand that she was disrespected royally, so much so. So he's going to double down and show up for her, and I just hope that it works out for them, but even if it doesn't, I hope she enjoys this moment of basking in someone praising her, giving her her flowers, and may she continue to save lives and stop these infections out here, because y'all, it is flu season. The pollen is strong, allergies are doing its thing. Just be careful out there. But Love is Blind season 10, glad it's over. And in light of what's going on in this world right now, right, I'm not really gonna delve deep into it because I'm not gonna pretend to be an expert on, global affairs, right? But what I will say is, it's really led me into a place where I'm taking the time to make sure that I'm in a good place, because honestly, like with World War III potentially happening, there's just a lot of worry that I have, right? So I'm just sitting here, just acknowledging that the world is in a crazy place, and even so, all I can really do is my best, and I'm really going to invest into the things that I can, which is why your girl is learning to knit, and also watching a lot of Netflix right now. And more recently, I spent some time with my best friend and got to celebrate love at a wedding, and really taking that time to be off the internet and stop focusing on the fact that there's a lot going on right now in this world. I was really grateful, and I'm very grateful that I could disconnect from that, because there's just a lot of people who can't, who are in the thick of it, or for financial reasons can't, and it just allows me to have a lot of gratitude when I can spend time with my family members, my friends, those that I care about, and honestly carve out time for myself. So I just want to highlight that, especially if you're struggling right now, definitely recognize that we are but a drop in the ocean, and I know that sounds very nihilistic, but we're but a drop in the ocean. Affect change on the things that you can affect change on, and for those that you can't, you kind of just have to surrender and do your best, right? And carve out the best pattern for yourself. So be kind to yourself, be gentle. I hope you're out here making good choices, but at the very least, it's shifted how I think I will be pursuing my channel for the moment. I very much need unserious. I very much need to decompress. So I don't want anyone to think that this means I'm running up credit card debt and, making horrible decisions. No, we are still achieving those goals that I originally set. We're still achieving them. I just may not be talking about them. I just really want to focus on grounding myself, and how I've stayed grounded so far was I watched reality TV and had an analysis in it, got to talk to a bunch of friends about it, reconnected with my best friend, got to spend the evening with her and just catch up on life, the good, the bad, the ugly. And that honestly is the best thing about friendship, and a genuine friendship. Being able to support each other in all seasons, even if that's just a lending ear, or just a hug, or I'm just here for you. So very grateful for that. Celebrating love was very magical. I very much enjoy celebrating people's unions. And it was a little mini college reunion, so shout out to the lovely couple for that. And now I'm just reading into this book. This book that I'm reading currently is, I actually tried reading it already. But the book that I'm reading is called H2ADHD. And I'm very open and honest and transparent. It's not a big deal for me. But I do have ADHD. It's a thing that is new to me, and I seek to understand it. And as I mentioned earlier in past videos, that a smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. And I'm just very much here and very much grateful that I get to tap into resources. I don't have to do it alone. That I do have this ability to tap into some friendships and things like that of that nature. So if you're feeling alone, which I very much hope you're not, but I hope you're able to tap into your resources, check in with your strong fin, check in with yourself, take some time off the internet. I love to do me, I'm gonna need a break post. So just in case you needed, for some reason, someone to tell you that it is okay, the world does feel like it's on fire. Hello, I am me, and you're more than welcome to like, comment, and subscribe. Share what's on your mind down there in the comments. But if not, you're more than likely to just step in for a moment and go back to whatever it is that you were working on. But I just want to say thank you for your time, because it's definitely a finite resource and not something easily or able to be recycled, honestly, and you can't get that back. So for utilizing it on this video and connecting with me down in the comments, I just want to say thanks. And I just hope that you continue to make good choices and you're kind to yourself and get off the internet, touch some grass, and tap in with some quality time with yourself and others. So thank you so much. And until next time, I am me, and we'll see what Netflix has for me. And I hope to have a beautiful little fox to share with you. But thank you again. Bye.